Hello guys, welcome back to Raven Rock channel. So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to have a new update on the Ukraine and Russia war. So so far this conflict has gone to a whole different level of Putin trying to increase and also moving its entire military force against Ukraine. And right now, this situation is deteriorating day by day. So I'm going to share a little bit of my perspective on Russia economy and also the Ukraine economy, and also sharing a little bit of my perspective on both USA, United States, America, and Russia. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be objective. I fully understand a lot of people hate Russia for launching this war, for declaring these cruel intrusion without he has no legit reason or whatsoever to start these unjust war against Ukraine. But I also want to indicate from now the United States and also the NATO has also been interfering a lot of regional conflicts, and people who are behind it, they're very smart. They certainly understand how to influence the history to a way that to be the best of their benefit, because the capitalists can also easily get into the market, forcing the government to submit to their demand, also signing out all these contracts. So foreign entities could easily invade, quote unquote invade, without heavy arms, without missiles, but easily ripping people off, although they're giving away and creating jobs opportunity. But also from many experiences, the US and also the Western capitalists have taken a lot of advantage from this conflict, and by injecting all these big companies, big corporations, so they could keep manipulating people and keep making money out of these poor countries, which is the reason why the poverty issue it's never going to fix. It's still a big problem, as you can see in Africa and so many places. But I also want to indicate that I'm not blaming everything on a capitalist Western society kind of format, because a lot of people may disagree with me, and I totally approve of that. I certainly get why a lot of people would disagree with me, because they're communism, and also given the fact that Putin is a dictator and he is a tyranny, he's using his people and all these innocent Russian people, young people we're talking about, these people who are very poor, and to throw them to the battlefield, so to let them bleed for his own personal stake. I do not approve. I do not agree with and at all of what he's doing all the time. I'm not a big fan of tyranny, but we also need to see from the fragility, and also we want to see the disadvantage and also the drawbacks from both idealism. Because what I believe is that human, as our society will eventually proceed, we have to evolve our political system. We, as the future generation, we have to understand there are going to be vulnerabilities and weakness for both sides, both capitalism and communism. And it is very important for us to understand the fragility for both sides, to remain an open society, and to a point where we are not going to be brainwashed by any side of it. We're not going to get our law system and also our political structure being hijacked by one of two dictators. And it is our duty and responsibility for every citizen to understand that our forefathers, they fought dearly for us. It doesn't matter if we are Chinese or if we are Americans, or maybe we're Europeans, maybe you belong to any kind of country or etc. Still, your father, they fought very dearly for you, and also that happens to your grandfather and so on. We do want to keep our society in peace rather than having this crazy conflict of idealism became the entire tragedy for human being, as we were seeing what's happening in World War II and World War One, and you actually can see it is such a big human tragedy to see innocent people, ignorant people fighting each other, killing each other because of the difference of idealism. Of course, this would be very difficult. This is a very difficult subject. This is a very difficult topic, and also understand a lot of people may disagree with me, but I think it's rather important to see that right now the whole Ukraine and Russian war actually reflect that kind of status quo. It reflects the environment, the ultimate environment and reality of what we are living in currently. We're living in a society where we have diversity, huge divergence. We have different idealism, we have different belief, we have different religion, and we have different value system. Some people believe in system, some people believe in law, some people believe in human rights, some people believe in freedom and liberty. But everything has to come in Chinese ancient concept. We call this 中庸. 中庸actually means it is I would say a perfect equilibrium of how it is a balance of different power. So when you reach that kind of balance of different power, you have peace, right? So you don't have extreme liberty, because having extreme liberty may result to extremely havoc. You have you have all these different crazy people right now rioting, and then you have all these mobs taking over, like having these riots on street, fire on the streets. They are doing this for their own goods. They are not pursuing the real liberty. And when you have, I don't know, maybe when you start to adore the idea of tyrannism, and when you adore those dictators and also the tyranny, the system become very it's so difficult for any liberty of any individuality to proceed and to continue existing in that kind of system. And you also don't want a society in which only respect the rule of laws, because this is a very traditional philosophy and also philosophical concept that an unjust law is not a law at all, right? Because the law is clearly that the law can be defined and redefined by a human being, and also the law, the essence of the law is changing. It's ever changing. It's adapting to the changing of the history, the changing of human society. And for example, when back in the days we don't have the airplane, so how can you declare flying in the sky or whatever to even try it? Is it legal or not legal, right? That kind of idea doesn't exist until we actually have a plane. So that kind of idea will keep evolving. So you have a changing law system. So given this, sometimes you have some corrupted politicians, you have some oligarchs. They group together, they try to infiltrate the entire law system, they establish a very bad law that only, bring merits and benefit to a specific group of people. We see that. Like many times. We see that in the Obamacare. We see that in all different so-called structural reforms. Right? We see few people actually get all these benefit because it's written in the law. Right? So you have a democracy that's based on illusion of selecting or illusion of election, having an election. The fact that you do not elect people, you select what they have, elected, and that's the idea of democracy. And they will group a government, they will implement a lot of special interests, they will make the law as unjust as impossible, and to rule in a way that you have very limited democracy, and you have an illusion of being like a free man. Right. So I think that's pure nonsense. Just as nonsense is pure communism, right? So I think that is two pillars of the same concept of humanity. Is that you are having this individuality or you're having this collectivism. So right now, Ukraine war, I would say Ukraine, this is not just a war. It's very difficult for Ukrainian people right now, I must say. And it's so painful to see that's happening. But I think for us, what can we do is, well, except from praying, definitely we're not Joe Biden, because Joe Biden is the man who has all these fancy weapons and all these millions of troops. But it appears the only thing he can do is he can pray for people. Such a powerful American president. And I still agree that the reason why Putin is launching this war is partly because Joe Biden is being very weak. So the whole world sees it. And apparently, Vladimir Putin, he's not a fool. He's going to take advantage of a very weak U.S. president. So this again happens. We are again seeing these iron curtain falls. We start seeing the seed of the World War III. We're seeing these divergence of different idealism. We're walking towards different paths. So let us learn something from these Ukraine conflicts. I know this war is still keep going, and I'm going to still keep updating new information, but in this video I want to talk about the thought and my perspective behind all these conflicts, because this is a very important lesson, so we can learn and actually try to prevent it from happening again. So we in the future, as our next generation will grow, they will gradually understand, okay, there are different paths for human society may lead to. We can either choose that we have a, maybe like a true freedom, or like everyone is so freedom and there is no strong government protecting people and whatsoever, and or you have simply a very, very powerful government that's suppressing everyone else, doesn't allow anyone to shout out any voice. So we're seeing the government around the world, they are forming to its own extreme. They have all their own problems. So I really kind of hate nowadays that you have all these mainstream medias talk about who is just like who represents so-called justice, right? Who is unjust, who is not unjust. It could change, right? Different system has different problem and fragility. But if only we can actually see the problem from both sides, we can try to fix the system. I still agree that he is human. We have the power and potential to build a better society. But if we're not going to learn anything from these Ukrainian kind of war, but I think we're not going to be able to prevent it from ever happen again. So this is a little bit of what I'm going to share, because I'm going to make several videos and also explain my concept and my a little bit of my insights. And I'm very open to all kinds of comments, and as long as you're friendly and you can have different stand. Maybe you can support Russia, but you need to give out these clear reasons of why you're supporting them, and we can have a friendly debate or discussion. This is the whole point of me starting this YouTube channel, so I can, it is a platform for people to speak, to discuss, to debate, to understand different perspectives, different experiences, because we are born differently. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. And if you like my content, please subscribe and click that like button for me, and also leave comments below. As I can see right now, there are some people starting to comment, and I see some people are commenting with very, very good information, and I would definitely reply to all these messages. So thank you guys for your support. You can also donate through my PayPal. You can also donate Bitcoin to support me to creating more of these videos. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next. Bye.